Hey everyone, and welcome to my end of year TBR. We're now in the final 4 months of 2023. I don't know how that happened. Like I keep on saying, I keep on thinking it's March, but it's actually now September, which is weird. But that does mean that there's a few books I still haven't read yet that I really want to. So this is my end of 2023 TBR. First we have We Hunt the Flame by Hafsa Faisal. This one says, people lived because she killed, people died because he lived. And that synopsis just makes this sound absolutely amazing. I've also heard amazing things about this from so many people. So it's about time I read it, and I think the last 4 months of the year is going to be the perfect time to read this because it sounds a little bit dark and we're getting towards the sort of darker months of the year. There is also Sea Fire by Natalie C. Parker, and this one is all about revenge and a female crew of pirates, and I am in a piratey mood and I just want to read about pirates. To be honest, I just want to read about pirates, and this is a pirate book I have on my TBR, and I've had it since like 2019 now, so it's probably time I read it, and I am really excited to be honest. I'm so excited to read about pirates and things like this. I've been saving this for when I've been in a piratey mood, and now the piratey mood has hit, so definitely want to give this a go this year. I also have Elle McNichol's Like a Curse. This is a sequel to Like a Charm, and this is all about a young dyspraxic girl in Edinburgh who can see what's really there and all the magical creatures and everything. And while Like a Charm was not my favourite Elle McNichol book, I still really enjoyed it, and I do want to give the sequel a read, so then I finished the duology, and also so I can continue on reading all my Elle McNichol stuff. So this definitely needs to be read before the end of the year. There's also Aragon, because I've owned this for far too long at this point. It's been on my priority list for the entire year. I just haven't picked it up yet for no apparent reason. So it's about time I did. All I remember about this is the fact that it's about a young boy and a dragon, and that's all I really know, and that's all I really want to know, to be honest. So it's about time I read it, because as you can see, I've also owned this, like I keep on saying, since the film came out, and I just haven't picked it up yet. So it's about time I did. There's also a reread on this list, and that is Doctor Who. Now, this specific book is The Sting of the Zygons, but I've also got upstairs The Last Dodo. I've also got a whole load of others whose names I've forgotten, but I am going to be mainlining Doctor Who books in November, because it's the 60th anniversary of Doctor Who, and David Tennant is back as the 14th Doctor, and I have a ton of books about the 10th Doctor and also about the 9th Doctor as well, so I'll try and read those as well. But I'm just going to be mainlining Doctor Who because I've got a very busy month in November anyway, and these are very short books, and the writing is reasonably large, as you can see, and all of these were my childhood books. I read these over and over again as a kid, and I really want to make a reading vlog about reading them now and just being all Whovian and all the rest of it. So I really want to read these again, and I am very excited to, because I'm really excited to relive my childhood, I'm not gonna lie, and hope that these all hold up. I'm really hoping these hold up, but either way, it's going to be a fun experiment, and I will definitely be reading all of my Doctor Who books, or at least a significant chunk of them, in November. There's also The Princess Bride by William Goldman, and if you do not know what The Princess Bride is about, have you been living under a rock? Go watch the movie right now and read the book. But as it says on the back here, it's all about the flaxen-haired Buttercup who has fallen for Wesley, the farm boy, and when he departs to make his fortune, she vows to never love another. And then what happens when his ship gets captured by the dread pirate Roberts, and all of this kind of thing. And then it says, so starts a fairy tale like no other, of fencing, fighting, torture, poison, true love, hate, revenge, giants, hunters, bad men, good men, beautiful ladies, snakes, spiders, beasts, chases, escapes, lies, truth, passion, and miracle. And this book, from what I remember, is exactly that. I remember reading this when I was a kid, when I was about 9 or 10, I think, but it's been such a long time since I read it. This will basically be like reading it brand new for the first time again. And also, this is a new copy of the book. I do have another copy that is so odd the back cover is falling off, so it'd be nice to read a copy as well that's actually, you know, intact, and I don't have to worry about breaking it further. So yeah, I'm just generally really excited to reread this one. I definitely want to do it this year because it's been on my list for a very long time now, and it's about time I read it, and also to re-fall in love with Wesley again, which is not hard. It happens quite often whenever I rewatch the movie. And I mean, I quote the movie so often, like with the words "as you wish," and then also also, hello, my name is Inigo Montoya, you killed my father, prepare to die. I say that on like a weekly basis, so I'm really excited to just reread the book and just be back in the world of The Princess Bride again and like compare it to like the movie and all the rest of it. I'm just very, very excited, and to see what I think about the romance, because I've been quite cynical about romance for the last 10 years. But recently, I've kind of discovered a couple of romances that I've liked. I also have Bite Risk by S.J. Wills, and this one has been described as being for fans of Skullduggery Pleasant, and we are dealing with a town where all of the adults turn into a werewolf one night a month. And I mean, I'm just here for this. I'm absolutely here for this. It says it's for fans of Skullduggery Pleasant, and I'm like, I'll be the judge of that, and with spooky season coming along, it's going to be the perfect time to read this, especially seeing as Gothtober's theme this year is creature feature. So, I mean, there's no way that werewolves are not creature features, so very, very, very excited to hopefully read this in October for Gothtober. There's also Tarnished City by Vic James. I really, really enjoyed the first book, which I have forgotten the name of it now. Gilded Cage, that was it. I really, really enjoyed it when I read that first book, and this is all about what happens when the English aristocracy has got magic and then everybody else does not have magic, and they have engineered it so absolutely everybody who is not aristocracy has to do their slave days. If you do it too young, you'll be injured and like disabled for life essentially. If you do it too old, you will never survive it, and we are following one family who have entered their slave days and what's going on with that and trying to sort of take down this system, that kind of thing. I really, really enjoyed the first book like 2 years ago when I read it, and I've been desperate to continue on with the series. I just haven't for no apparent reason, so I do really, really want to continue on with this series. I do not have the final book, which is Bright Ruin, yet, but at the very least I would like to read Tarnished City this year to say that I have continued on with this series. There's also Mina and the Undead by Amy McCaw, and this one is all about 90s vampires, and I mean, again, Gothtober is just around the corner. It's all about creature features and all of that good stuff, and vampires are definitely that kind of creature feature things. And I've also heard from Hannah, who is the creator of Gothtober and also a fan of this book, that it's very much like Buffy the Vampire Slayer, and if there's one thing I enjoy, it is Buffy the Vampire Slayer. So I am very excited to read this because I do love Buffy. I haven't watched it in a very long time though, but I still, like, my teenage years were just obsessed with Buffy and Spike and so many other things to do with that show, so I'm really excited to read a book that kind of feels like Buffy the Vampire Slayer. So yeah, very, very excited to squeeze this onto my TBR for Gothtober. I don't know where I'll fit it in, but it will be fit in somewhere, I am certain of it. There is also Only a Monster. This one is by Vanessa Len, and it says on the back here, don't forget the rule, no one can know what we are, what you are, you must never tell anyone about monsters. And I have seen this everywhere recently because I think the sequel has just come out, so everyone's talking about it, and it's just really attracted me to this book again. I did buy it, I did pre-order it I think in the end. I just never picked it up when it first like arrived at my door, and I think it's about time I read it, because if I read it now and really enjoy it, I can then buy the sequel in a hardback as well, so then I have matching covers. So that's kind of my excuse here, but I do really want to read it because all of the hype surrounding it at the moment has kind of intrigued me, so I do want to give it a read, hopefully by the end of the year. Then there's also The Last Tale of the Flower Bride by Roshani Chokshi, and this one is a gothic story. Again, it says inside every story is a secret, inside every marriage is a lie. I've heard amazing things about this one. I've really enjoyed all of Roshani Chokski's other work, like her Aru Shah series, as well as the Gilded Wolf series, and this one, like I said, is all gothic and stuff, and I recently read my first ever gothic book and really enjoyed myself, so I want to explore more of this like category and this genre and things like this, so I may as well start with some of the books I already own. One of them is The Last Tale of the Flower Bride, and again, I've heard amazing things about this one, and it seems perfect for the end of the year during like that kind of spooky season and things like this, so I do really want to give it a go during October, or at least when it's a little bit spooky around like October, November, that kind of time anyway. And then finally there is Kingdom of Souls by Rena Barron. I did get 2 chapters into this last month, but I was just interrupted every 5 minutes, so I couldn't really like bed down into it or anything, so I do want to give it another go now and see what I think, this kind of thing. And this one is all about a young girl who does not have magic, but when kids start going missing, she ends up trading years of her magic, of her life for magic with a demon king. And I've heard mixed things about this, but I have owned it for a really long time, so I want to give it a go and see what I think of it myself. This is also one of the priority books I set at the beginning of the year, so it's about time I read it now and see what I think about it. And that is the end of this end of year TBR. There's a ton of comics I could have mentioned, but at the moment, after my 31 in 31 challenge, I'm kind of taking a little bit of a break from comics for just a couple of weeks. There are a few comics I have in mind that I do want to read, like Fantastic Four, Empire, and then also Trials of X, but I'm just gonna kind of see what I feel like and what I have time for, this kind of thing. I'm not going to try and pressure myself into trying to finish any of these series or like catch up with them or anything. I'm just going to go with the flow for them. And also for this video, I just wanted to focus on the novels, so I think that's where I'm going to leave this video. So if you enjoyed it, please do give me a thumbs up, comment down below, tell me the book I should focus on first, or if you don't have that much time, leave me a, I don't know, flower emoji down below to let me know that you were here. I'll also leave a link as well down below to all of my social media if you want to check it out, including to the Comic Book Sanctum, which is my website dedicated to Marvel Comics, which will still be updating despite my small break from comics if you're interested in that. I'll also leave a link as well down below to my Etsy store that sells bookish merch if you're interested in that as well. Or if you just want to see any more of my videos, please click subscribe here, and over here will be the link to my previous video. But until next time everyone, bye!